Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well and just having a blessed day and just living life to the fullest. Um, what I wanted to talk about today is something I've been kind of finding a common trait with, I like to call like unreasonable people, like people who, think outside the box, people who've had to deal with certain things due to adversity. They've had to think differently and just make things happen out of nothing. I'm finding that those type of people are the most misunderstood, because nothing about them is common. Nothing about, the way they operate, the way they think, the amount of faith that they have is common, right? Everything they do is so different. So when they try and communicate with, let's say the common person, there's a misunderstanding. There's no bridging the gap of what they're trying to say. It may come out as harsh what they're trying to say, or too positive, but what they're saying is truly how they is more speaking from a different place. So sometimes the way they put their words, sometimes the way they say things isn't exactly what they meant, and I feel like there's a huge misunderstanding with that. So those who are listening to this right now, if you're one of the uncommon, the unreasonable, I'm sure you felt that, where it's like you're speaking something truly so honest to the point where it's just like your truest truth. And sometimes it's not delivered in the best way, and sometimes it's like you're saying it because it's like you're not speaking from a script or speaking from something you read in a book. You're just speaking from a trueness in your heart, and sometimes it's taken the wrong way because it's just that blunt. What I would say to that is that sometimes that can be a painful thing where you're misunderstood, but you're actually trying to speak and talk with love. You have to have compassion for the other person who doesn't understand. You have to be able to still keep that place in you where it's like, okay, you know what, like, man, I just spoke like my truth. I just spoke the best thing they could hear, not necessarily what they wanted to hear, not necessarily the easiest thing for them to digest mentally, but I just spoke to them the actual keys, the actual guide, the actual path for them to move forward in life. But they took it the wrong way because they wanted to hear something easier. That sometimes hurts when they come back lashing at you, where it's like you don't care, or you're selfish, you're this and that, because they're not used to the truth, right? Most people are used to being lied to. That's why people accept lies so easily, right? Most people reject truths because it's just an uncommon thing that they hear. So anytime they hear anything that's any form of truthful, they reject it. So I'd say for anyone who's in that position where they know for themselves they're speaking an honest truth, but sometimes people aren't accepting it because like that's not what they want to hear, and they want to hear what makes them feel good, instead of being down on yourself and questioning your own integrity. Just sit back, breathe, and have compassion for them, because people who are the unreasonable, the one percenters, whatever you want to call them, that's the weight we got to carry. We're the diamonds that can handle any pressure. So us being able to mold and make this world adapt to us is going to come with a lot of things of things barriers we got to break through, or things we got to withstand, so that our world continues to adapt, so we build and create new things, right? So you got to be able to stay strong and just faithful through all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us are misunderstood, even with the common person. Sometimes, they feel like when they're speaking, they're trying to figure themselves out, and they're trying to see new truths and whatnot. Like, they don't feel understood. They're at a point in life where they don't necessarily have that strength, or they haven't acquired it yet, or whatnot, but they feel misunderstood because the person close to them is like, just an uncommon person, so they can't relate, and they're trying to express their feelings. They're trying to, explain to them what they're feeling and what they feel like they need. But the uncommon person is never gonna tell you what you want. He's gonna give you what you need, because he's trying to make you go forward. He's trying to make you progress and not stay common. But a common person doesn't want to hear that. So it's like a thing where it comes from the common person too. It's like, even though sometimes we don't feel understood by the ones we really look up to, and sometimes we're rubbed the wrong way by, you know, whether it's our parents that are trying to motivate us and give us actual proper game to move forward, or someone that we watch on TV, like a public speaker or whatever. He's saying some things where it's like, well, you feel like, well, you're not in my shoes, like how would you do that then? You know, don't shy away from the challenge that they put in front of you, because they're calling your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's challenging your excuse, you know, don't make another excuse for that. Just answer it. That's the best thing you can do. It's like when you're in a situation and you feel like there's no way out and you want to just pity yourself, like, then you hear something that goes against that, like, you know, stop saying you can't do something, or whatever, so and so. Don't get mad at that. Don't be like, oh, you're just saying that because you're in that position, or you're just saying that because you don't know how I feel. Man up to it, handle it, and be like, you know what? I'm going to take that challenge, because making an excuse for it doesn't really do anything. So you got to answer it with an action that you're gonna come forward with, so that you can actually make it out and start climbing those ranks, right? But yeah, man. So it's like, I feel like both ends, the common, the uncommon, we all have our battles. But although we're two different kind of people, we're still the same. And like, the only thing that's gonna help us understand is that just it. Like, understanding is gonna bridge the gap with the communication. Being able to listen to someone, even though they're saying everything you've never heard, like something that's just totally out of your paradox, like, you gotta be able to sit back and understand that, okay, this is something I'm trying to take in, observe it. Even though it's emotionally hurting you or whatever, don't just react. Just think about it, observe, and communicate to what they're really trying to say. Don't just be like, oh, you said that word, and you react on that word. Ask them what they meant by what they said, right? That's the thing about communication. We just react to certain words and trigger things that trigger us. But before you react, simply sometimes just pause and be like, what do you mean by that exactly? Just so you're clear on the reason that was said, not what was said. That's what matters, the reason what was said, not what was actually said. Even like with this video, you may not fully understand where I'm coming from, what I'm saying, and you may audit all my words and react off that. But let's say you need a deeper understanding, let's say there's still some miscommunication, your best bet would be able to reach out, ask, and find out the reason of what I was saying, if there's a miscommunication, if there's a misunderstanding. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to communication and whoever we encounter, this and that, understanding is always going to be the thing that bridges the gap, right? That's going to help us have more compassion for each other. That's going to help us really just understand each other and not let there be a separation. That's going to bring unity, us understanding, right? And nobody wants to understand because everyone's thinking out of their reasoning. You can't just think of your reasoning when you're communicating. You have your reason of what you said. When someone debates or rebuttals you, before you react, understand their reason. If you don't understand their reason, ask. So there's a full understanding of what's what and where you guys are at. So there's no friction. There's no, like, you know, we don't need that. That's negative energy. If everything we can do and communicate and talk through can be positive, that's a real big step for humanity. But yeah, so that being said, let's just all stay encouraged, including myself. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and just trying to be better every single day. So I ask for you guys to do the same, so that we can all, you know, live this life and take it as a blessing, and not just take it as anything else. Like, just take it as a blessing and stay positive with it. All right, guys, have a good day. Stay positive and stay up. All right, well.